Okay, might hear a car in the background, but for the most part, the message is still the message. So try to ignore that. Early in the morning, I'm sitting right here, and I have another day off from work, and as we all go through things, we all have those times where we're thinking about things that happen at work and think about things that go on throughout our lives. And my brain is unsettled, but my spirit is doing just fine. Um, so I'm thinking about just in general the reasons why the workplace is always so full of the same type of individuals. I noticed when I was down and out, I noticed when I was uncomfortable with myself, I noticed that when I was full of anxiety and doubt and resentment, everybody went into a stage, a phase of pity for me. They would talk, I would hear them, and they would make sure that I'm hearing them talk. You know how people say things in a way where they act as if they're trying to the people around them to say it quietly, but they could totally just talk to each other when you're not around. So they say it loud enough for you to hear it, but to act as if they're saying it low because the idea is to get a response from you because for some reason they see you as the type of person who would be receptive to their BS. And that's something I fought myself for a lot. I can't keep blaming other people for why I'm receptive to BS. That's something I have to get together with myself. That's something I have to get together with myself. I often say narcissism is a crisis of frequency, meaning my frequency is low enough. I'm in a state that is low enough for me to connect with somebody who is a gatekeeper of low frequency. Narcissists are gatekeepers of whatever frequency they're on. So most of the time, they want to keep you on that same frequency. There's very few narcissists that are gatekeepers of high frequencies, but they are out there too. People that just want to keep you on a good frequency no matter what. And if you're not in that frequency, you know. But most of the time, they want to keep you on a low frequency. And that's what I realized a little while ago. I said, I can only blame myself because these are people who feed off of you being in a state of mind where you're receptive to what they are feeding you rather than doing what you should be doing because you already have goals in mind. See, narcissists have a very hard time getting to you when you have goals in mind already. If you have no goals, it's easy for them to feed you something. If you have goals, most of the time they can't even really get to you and do it because, but I'm sitting at work and, no goals, just, BSing. And I catch, because, we all have parts of ourselves who just, we like to feel good, but it's something about that low frequency that just pulls you in so easily. It's something about that low frequency that just catches your attention. It could be a crowd of people talking. And this is what I think the feminine has the biggest problem with, more so than the masculine. And this is a part of me that I hate. And I feel that, I've got to figure that out, a little better. Got to figure that out a little better. But it's that the part of the feminine that is, and I just, no offense to the feminine when I say, I don't mean female, because there are lots of females who have masculine traits and there's a lot of men who have feminine traits. I mean the feminine in the sense of what that side of energy usually connects with. And the feminine usually can pick the bad pixel out of the crowd. And I'm here, I am a man doing this to myself all the time. Lots of good things are going on for me right now. I mean, I'm in my own car. It seems to be, pretty dependable. That right there, that alone is should be enough for you to focus on that forever. Don't even really care about it. Um, man, some girl wanted to give me her number. You know, some nice. You know what I'm saying? Some nice. Some woman wants to be wants me to be her old man. You know, a bit of a confidence boost. Forget about that, right? Um, let's see. Um, I got a lot of different things set up for what could happen if things go bad. You know, I'm I'm alive. You know, um, I got I got a lot of nice things. Yet and still, while I'm in a conversation with somebody who is choosing to conversate with me, I choose to focus on this person who is in this low frequency, and I can hear, cutting through the crowd. I'm literally talking to somebody else, but what does my brain do? Cuts through all the other noise, all the other goodness, and my brain hears this person go. And I do believe that you people can pick up on vibrations, and there are things that can be picked up on for sure. I do believe that. Um, it sounds maybe a little crazy to some people, but I believe that I picked up on a vibration that was being sent my way, and I felt the vibration, and then I connected with the frequency. It's almost like going through the channels, and when you go through a channel, somebody's on a certain channel, and they sent the signal out to you, and because you're ready to pick up on that BS, you know, I picked up on that BS because I was ready and primed to do it. I wasn't, let's be honest. There's something about the positive, which is boring. There is something about the negative, which is exciting, and it puts you in a state of mind sometimes where you're ready to go and you're fired up, and there's just a lot the negative can offer this world. And I feel like that is underrated and underspoken about. Negativity has a lot to offer this world. We act as if um, it has nothing to offer, but negativity has a lot to offer this world. A lot. Um, but nevertheless, so right there, and I'm picking up on that frequency, right? Hearing little, whispers of this and that. I let that drag me to, okay, now I'm thinking about that. It's the pervasive thought of my day. We all have that one thought which is pervasive throughout the day. And that was the pervasive thought for that day. Instead of all the good things that are happening to me, instead of all the other things, it leads me to believe that my own brain doesn't really want positivity that much. My own brain doesn't really want what's best for me that much. It loves chaos. As much as I say I don't, I think naturally I'm wired to get close to chaos and disorder. Because something that somebody was saying about me that doesn't know me from a can of paint. Yes, I work with this individual, but this is a type of individual who's just really afraid, just like I have my own fears. And they deal with it by projecting all the time to other people and all those other things. You know, like I'll just hear her just sitting and projecting stuff. She's really a fearful person. She's trying to be tough and trying to put the best face forward, but um, she's just the type of person where she has a lot of fears, just like me, man. And when you combine somebody that has a lot of fears with the ability to rally a lot of people because, well, one, they're in a position of power, and two, they're really insecure about their ability to be seen in the way they want to be seen. And I have that problem within myself. And I think that's where we connected in the wrong way. You know, I noticed those things about myself, and quite often I would hear people talk and speak about. Sometimes you see something in somebody else, but it's in you, and that's why you hate it so much because you picked up on it because it's part of you. Almost it takes one to know one, even though it's like that's not true all the time. Because if you're a straight man, you see a gay man, you can see somebody's gay without necessarily being gay. You know what I mean? So that phrase is just one of those phrases that it can apply, but it doesn't apply to everything. But yeah, here I am connecting with this and stuff like that, and I know you know we all have thoughts like that and things that we do where we are just connecting with BS. And I'm sitting there just letting this thought, just like I'm not going to say what was said or anything like that because I'm not going to say what was said or anything like that because it's not important. You know what I mean? Like really anything, especially when somebody doesn't even know you. I learned with myself in so much other things. Everything's an illusion. Everything's an illusion, and I really want that part of me and me just having a conversation with myself. If somebody's listening, maybe it can help you. This is not put here to do it. I put these videos out to be putting something out. You know what I mean? I put these videos out to to put my thoughts out there. You know what I mean? And one day, if on this channel somebody picks up on it, maybe it can fucking help them. You know? Maybe it can help somebody. You never know. You never know. But I'm sitting right there, and one little thing somebody said, I let that sit and bother me. But all these good things happening to me, I completely ignored it. And it showed me the narcissism in myself. It showed me my lack of focus. Because I'm not gonna sit there and throw well, this person does not matter. Like it's truly true. A lot of people say a lot of things that are not necessarily true and they're just talking. When people say when you find happiness within yourself rather than what's going on externally, you'll be truly happy. I believe that because if you depend on external validation, especially in this day and time, good luck because you're going to be just, it's an endless hole of censoring yourself in order to always be externally validated. And as soon as you make a mistake, you're going to be the most unhappy person in the world. And there is a part of people that I feel like should understand that we should, as long as we're a part of society, be willing to give a part of ourselves to society's standards. I do believe we owe that because you drive on these streets, you eat from these farmers, you benefit from what society has done for you. Yet you don't want to give any part of yourself to their standards, which ultimately help in some ways continue people being able to stay in a healthy society. It's really selfish to me. So part of me understands I do need to give that. But the reason why with these types of individuals I don't give anything is one, there's a way to do things and there's a time and place. There's a time and place. There's a time and place to do things. And when these individuals think that they could make you do something by using these techniques and things like that, I have a bit of an ego flare up because I refuse to give people a reward or any of my mental space or consideration for their games. I'm not going to reward their games ever. A bit silly because there's bigger fish to fry out here. I understand that. This is why the best thing I do is quite often I'll just I'll just allow myself to ruminate a little bit. And then as I've kind of heard through books and things like that, just allow the thought to pass after that. But you have to kind of feel your way through it and get through it and get over it. This is what the feminine has figured out. And this is why I believe social connection is important because it allows you to really internalize things better. When you don't have anything but yourself to internalize things, it it leaves you with only you and your blind spots to come to your conclusions. And that's why I'm never saying I'm 100% right or wrong. I'm never saying that. What I'm saying is I have the right to disseminate whatever information I want to give you when I want to give it to you. I don't owe you anything. I come to work to work. And I've gotten a lot better with connection because I've seen on TikTok so often and things like that. You might as well connect with people and things like that. Even though I don't understand why, on one side, people are allowed to have insecurities with people who are quiet. Like, if you're a quiet person, the people that like to talk a lot have insecurities about you being quiet because they don't know if you like them. They don't. I've heard this through TikTok and other places that there's a general sense that people want you to talk to them because otherwise they don't know what's going on with you. Yet and still, when you talk to people, they take everything you say and make it what they want it to make it anyways. So they don't know what's going on with you until you talk, but then when you talk, they don't take it at face value. They make it what they want to make it anyways. Well, you could have skipped the whole. You could have skipped the whole. You could have skipped me talking completely in its entirety if you were going to make something what you wanted to make it anyways. Why do I need to talk if you're going to take whatever I say and turn it into something else anyways? My problem with that is not that I don't mind talking or understanding that people want you to talk and people want to have conversations with people at work. My problem is, what is your actual intent? Because so often people say, oh, it's this, it's that. We just want to talk. We want to connect with you. You know what I'm saying? We want to get to know you. But then people take everything you say and misconstrue it, flip it, hit it, bop it into whatever they want to make it. And now you opened your mouth so that you can completely have your energy just taken from you and just made into whatever people wanted to make it into. That is a disservice to yourself. So you get to the point where some people will just tell you whatever they want to tell you. Because there are things that are intimate to people. There are things that are close to people. If I have my mother die and I tell you about that, and you take me having a conversation about my mother dying and you joke about it, and or anything that's intimate to me, if I dropped a bowl of noodles, and it was my last bowl of noodles, and it really set me off that day. If you are the type of person where you take everything and you want to turn it into something that is not conducive to making my day any easier, or it's not, you turn it to what you want to turn it into, it's like, how do you then get upset that somebody doesn't want to share anything with you? It's very one sided. It's like, talk to me. I'm going to then make whatever you say into whatever I want it to be. And then I'm going to make your speech or you talking worthless. But if you don't talk to me, then you not talking has a huge price on it. It's worth so much to me. And you wonder why people don't talk. I'm telling you the mindset of the people who don't talk at work. And it's not me anymore because I've realized the best thing to do is to, one, eat better. Eat better. Stop eating whatever you want to eat because there is a way to eat out there. Well, you will naturally stop connecting with this low frequency garbage. Garbage. Eat better. Eat better. But even eating better is so weird because I will eat better for a certain period of time. And then guess what? I will get bored with the fact that I'm not having up and down emotions all day because my body has gotten used to to feeling up and down all the time. So my body has gotten used to feeling anxiety, then feeling confidence, then feeling extreme anxiety, then extreme confidence, up, down, up, down, up, down. But there is something very exciting about that comfort zone. There's something very exciting about that comfort zone because there's always something going on within you. So understand when you eat better, your brain itself is going to feel dry for a little bit because your brain is used to being juiced up by BS. Even within you, your brain is used to being, you know, up and down, and you will have to have a period of time where you're getting used to being in order because it's like, dang, I just went to sleep, nothing was a big deal. I woke up, nothing was a big deal. This is boring. I want some really good food. And then you slowly fall back into the old patterns and you slowly fall back into feeding on BS. First thing is eating better that I've noticed. First thing is eating better. And it's too many choices now. Second thing is having goals. You got to have goals, man. If you don't control yourself, there is a narcissist who is looking to control you. See, what we get wrong is we always call narcissists this and that. A lot of times, narcissists are people who are looking to control other people because they can't control themselves. And a lot of times, a narcissist is just a person who exports their issues because they can't internally deal with it. It's a different form of energy control. So if they're going through something completely unrelated to you, instead of feeling sad and things like that, they'll look for a person to feel sad for them. So a person who is really full and really happy, they'll laugh and things like that. They'll laugh at people that do things like that. But it won't be intent. It won't be full of the intent of bringing you down. It won't be full of laughing at your expense. A person that always needs to do something at somebody else's expense, and this is another big thing with the feminine, I'm sorry, but the feminine is often so, in my opinion, when I say the feminine, not females, I'm talking about the feminine in the sense of disorder. Any human, male or female, that is in a feminine state, a state of disorder, is usually looking to do something or gain something at something else's expense. Because a state of order gives energy to itself. When you're getting yourself in order and you're going on a run, you get natural energy. But 95% of the time, the same person who gets energy at somebody else's expense hates to receive their own energy at their own expense. Not saying that you won't find people who, always need to, do things at somebody else's expense. But there's a comedian named Eddie Griffin, and he said it the best. And this just may be a little bit confirmation bias, but nevertheless, I think it's a good point. Eddie Griffin said, "Oh no, I'm sorry, it wasn't Eddie Griffin. I think he said something similar, but it was Cat Williams. He said, if you cannot be funny without it being at somebody else's expense, you're not that funny." So, in essence, he was saying that the comedian who is always looking for somebody in the crowd, somebody who is paying money to come see you, somebody who is supporting you, and you're always looking to go to them rather than take your own bombing if you're not that funny. See, you have the person who is the comedian, and you can tell a joke, and it's not that funny, and you just gotta, hey, take that on the chest. I'm bombing right now. I'm not that funny. I need to come up with better material. Self accountability, right? Then you have the person who is not that funny, and they'll just pick somebody out of the crowd that is an easy target. Pick somebody out who can deflect from what they're feeling at the moment. And they'll say, hey, where y'all from? I'm not saying that everybody won't do it at sometimes, but you have people who their go-to is to deflect, project, do everything but have accountability for their own feelings. And I'm not saying these people are weaker or stronger. I'm saying it's a different form of energy control. And in some ways, it's smart. Why am I going to be self-accountable for my own energy when there's other humans around? I'm not saying the feminine doesn't have a way of figuring things out. I'm just stating the facts. I'm just stating the facts. I'm just stating the facts. See, the problem with this, though, the problem with doing something at somebody else's expense is it only works if that other person is in the feminine as well. I call it cat frequency. Cat frequency being the frequency of cats, dog frequency being the frequency of dogs. One is sneaky and always looking to get things a certain way and do it. And one is out there and not looking to do things to people. Well, most of the time, in general, these are general things. And obedient, you know. And one is disobedient, does whatever it wants to do with it. And at this point in my life, I've learned that there's good in both frequencies. I'm just explaining that too often we at jobs, we around people, we get caught up in these low frequencies or these frequencies we don't want to be in because cat frequency doesn't feel good. I'm sorry, we can say what we want to say, but dogs have a lot more fun. I mean, cats may take a lot less damage too, because you're not going to trick a cat